Hey y'all, just wanted to jump in here and try something a little different with a video update. First of all, I want to say thanks a lot for just an incredible first week. And I want to kind of walk y'all through a little bit of what we're up to, what we're going to be doing during the campaign, and what our kind of thought process is behind all of the things that we're doing. So first of all, just once again, thank you. It's been incredible. I literally can't say thank y'all enough. We've been real active in the comments, so y'all, and love to keep that up. Any feedback y'all have, any questions, any suggestions y'all have for component changes, there's been some real good ideas in there. I can't promise we could do all of them, but keep them coming. At the very least, sometimes y'all played this game a lot, and different ideas I think will lead us to possibly some good suggestions to add to the game. So first thing is, you'll notice we're about a week into the campaign right now, and we do not have any stretch goals, which is very intentional. Part of the idea here is that this is meant to be kind of the best version of Dinosaur Island that's existed, kind of the definitive package of all the goodies. And it's already a finished game, and it's already a finished expansion. We talked to the designers. We kind of knew what folks wanted, what they wanted to do, what folks had been asking for, what suggested gameplay tweaks we should take a look at for this new edition, and we've already done them. And so that means there's not really a whole lot of stuff we want to be unlocking just to unlock it. So we kind of took the tact of like, well, let's just go out on day one and have all the stuff available as is. This is the package. And then as the campaign goes on, so a little bit later this week, next week, we'll talk more about some of the changes that we made and why. The first thing is I want to talk about the obvious component upgrades, which is the magnetic dinosaurs and some of that stuff that we're up to. This actually all began with a different project that I don't think we've announced yet, where we were having some issues with table bumping. And that's a problem I've had with Dinosaur Island a couple of times with some family members that I've played with. And the magnetic solution is something that I was presented by my factory. I've seen a couple of games that use magnets, and I had never really considered this as an option. And we started getting some prototyping in. I started thinking, like, we've been talking with the designers, and Brian Lewis especially has been in my ear for years about doing a big box Dinosaur Island game. And I thought, well, why do a big box? There's not that much different. I know there's some gameplay stuff that he's been talking about as well. And this kind of struck me as something that's really cool, really neat, and adds something to the experience of the game and makes it a whole new thing. So that's kind of how that got started. And then it went through a lot of iterative processes, and I'll also show some screenshots at some point during the campaign. At one point, these dinosaurs had to wear, they're like all riding surfboards basically to put the magnets in, and another iteration, the base was solid and was like screen printed, the silhouette of the meeple, and then the top half was like the cutout meeple shape. Real nightmare stuff, but we got through it. We got working with our factory and got some really good solutions, and we were able to kind of fix it and get things the way we want. The other big upgrade that we haven't shown yet, because it doesn't physically exist, but we're working through all of the logistics, is the lab boards. If you're familiar with the game, the lab boards are double thick punch for the threat and the security tracker, as well as your DNA storage. But it's not double thick where the lab upgrades go. And so there's 4 kind of pre-baked slots, 2 slots that are blank purely for upgrading and putting some upgraded action selections in those areas, but you can build over the top of the existing ones. And so magnetizing that board is a bit of a no-brainer, and that's something that we'll definitely do so that the worker meeples side, the researcher meeples that get on there stick. But we also kind of realize, like, well, the way magnets work, right? They have to stick to each other. So you have one that, you know, magnet, and then you have something that it magnetizes to. Which means all the punch board has a thin layer of magnetic, you know, reactive metal in there, which also makes the puncher really sturdy. It's actually a really nice effect without making it weigh a lot more. But you need the plastic meeples to stick to the punch. So you can't have the punch magnetized to the punch, because then the meeple wouldn't magnetize. So what we came up with is double punching the upgrades with a little finger cut out so you can dish them out pretty easily. So those will nest in the double thick punch, and then the magnets will nest. The magnetic meeples will magnetize to either the lab board itself, or if they're not upgraded, or the upgrades would then also have the metal in them, and they'll stick to that. And then on the rest of it, where we didn't need the double thick, we've changed to neoprene. And so that means that the neoprene is obviously a little bit more tactile than cardboard is. The original version of the game, it was like cardboard on cardboard, so it could slide if it got bumped or jostled. The cardboard on the neoprene, that didn't really happen, and then you magnetize your meeples to that. You know, no real problem. So everything looks great. Super happy. You know, obviously there's a video of me like shaking the thing upside down. You're not really going to do that, but it's really nice to see it works that way. A couple questions that we've seen a lot of in the comments. The first is it hard to get the meeples off? The answer is no. I mean, that shaking it upside down, if I had like full force done it would have come off, but they come off real easily with your hands just picking them up. They're not that strong of magnets. So that's not going to be an issue. Another question I've had a lot is, why didn't we screen print the dinosaurs like we did with Dinosaur World? Part of that is this is kind of a classic look for Dinosaur Island. And the second reason is, frankly, we got really mixed feedback. I think the screen printed meeples are sick. I love them. I think they're really cool. We did them with Dinosaur World. We did them with the Fox Experiment original Kickstarter. And especially on that campaign, the feedback was not. People were not about them. And so those are not going to be screen printed. We're going to kind of stick to the classic look from the previous Dinosaur Island campaign with all of the different meeples. Other things I've seen asked is, will all the promos be in there that we've ever produced, either for us or for partners that have been part of, the Dice Tower had some. And yes, we'll redo some art for them, just because I don't want to sell the art that has another human's face on it. So, but the gameplay will be in there. We'll get some new artwork on them. Space Raptor will be there. It'll be magnetized. That was part of a Godspeed Kickstarter back in the day. So that'll all be in there. So no worries about any of that. If there's ever been gameplay created, it's going to be here. Other than that, I know there's a lot of questions. How are the new water meeples going to work? Or the aquatic dinosaurs? Sorry, they're not dinosaurs. I know I got yelled at last campaign. The aquatic marine creatures, I don't know, whatever the scientific name is for water dinosaurs. But we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking through the new specialists. We'll be talking through how the small carnivores are going to work. We'll talk through, as the campaign progresses, about the two new executives and what they're going to do. It's all very cool, neat stuff. And we'll start those conversations a little later this week. For now, I'll see y'all in the comments. Please continue to share this campaign with your friends. We're super jazzed for all the stuff that we're going to be able to do, and really give y'all the definitive version of Dinosaur Island. Thanks a ton, y'all.